That's not a threat. You can say, I'd like to do this. I'm thinking about this. In fact, this actually came up for me in the halfway house because the guards were letting these child photographers gawk at my kids through the window on a visit, and then they do a couple laps and then do it again and just stand there. I said, I can't stop thinking about, and they couldn't do shit about it. I didn't say I was going to. I just said I can't stop thinking about it. My PO was like, well, you've obviously triggered her, and I don't blame her. They tried to say it wasn't a big deal, and I was like, my best friend growing up, she lived out in the middle of the country, changed her shirt in the window, made the mistake of leaving the curtain open, out in the middle of nowhere, and some creep across the street just got out of prison living with his mom. Fixated on her for years. She was terrified. He'd leave her like frozen hot dogs and lobster in her mailbox and write weird letters and, say he was going to be with her when she turned 18. Followed her from the bus stop. She was absolutely petrified. These people aren't wired right. And Jason knows this from the conversations I've had with him. He's like, what I did, yeah, okay, but it didn't stop kids from getting brutalized. It didn't stop these people. To stop it, we got to go about it differently. We got to get legislation. We got to get these big pharma to make a medication to fix these people's amygdala because there's something wrong with them. I want these people to stop hurting kids. So respectfully, it's not that. And, they would have said he was violated. They would have said he was revoked when I called to the jail or when JD talked to the PO. And talk about professional courtesy, them just taking him when his PO wasn't even at work. And I think from what Jason says and from what JD says, he got one of the good ones. And usually it's women parole officers that do the most good. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're the predatory, oppressive ones, but, from what I've seen, it's the women that really do the most good for formerly incarcerated people. But yeah, after that, in the halfway house, they were pissed. And, he's on there kind of doing the same thing I did. And so, yeah, I think he did piss some people off. He is still property of the state. He is not considered a human being right now. And I hope that infuriates everybody because they don't see any of us as human beings when we're in there, except they'll protect scumbags like that.